In today's video, I'm installing the Mega Spacer. I'm just kidding. What I am installing though are 1 1/4 inch spacers, so I don't have to cut any of the bolts, hopefully. And they're awesome. They're huge, and they're awesome yet again. So this is gonna be a pretty fun install. Look at this Mega Spacer I made. I mean, I got the bolts in a bag on top of here, but it was like, ugh. This is actually realistically, if I wide bodied my car, I'd actually have to get a spacer this big to keep the wheels that are on there right now. That's actually like a realistic distance, which is kind of scary. That's why I'm gonna get new wheels if I wide body my car. Still probably gonna end up using spacers, but that's temporary until I save up like 10 grand to spend on wheels. And I'm gonna be jacking up the car in a very weird way, which you guys will understand later. But I'm only using one Rhino ramp, and I'm gonna go get everything else to get this up in the air so I can take the wheels off. Alright, since I undid all the bolts partially, I decided I'm not gonna drive it up on the Rhino ramp at all. I'm just gonna lift it up with the jack and get it in the air. I believe in you! It actually is moving. My car's not that low. I believe in you, push! Make this wheel fitment on point! That's a wheel off. Now let's grab our lovely spacer. I forgot it's not going to fit with the hub ring there. Like a glove. I know you guys can't see anything. I'll go more in depth with the other one. From the rear, because that one's the more important one. This one's just me fooling around while putting it on for entertainment purposes. Tight. Just look at that. And it's like amazing wheel fitment now. So it gets that nice poke. It's actually like perfect in the rear. I think the fronts could have used a little bit less, but that's because it's not lowered as much, so it looks a little funnier. When it settles, it'll probably look a little better, but it looks so aggressive. Look at that. I mean, especially with the back from here, my God, that's so aggressive. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that it'll tuck back here if the suspension compresses into the tire. This will definitely tuck. What I'm afraid of is the front not tucking. So before I do the other side, which I'm not even gonna film, I'm gonna just test this side and see if it can actually tuck in the front with the suspension compressed, and by doing that, I'm gonna run over this right here. I honestly think that's full compression right there. I don't even think it's gonna touch the fender. Hold on. I think that's it. I don't think I'm low enough to hit it. If I were any lower, I probably would hit it. But since I don't even think I can get that low, I think we're good. Now I'm going to use some before and after like action right here. So this is before the front and before on the rear. All right. Now let's walk around to the other side. There's after on the rear. Look at that meat poking out right there. Let's go in reverse so you guys can see the same like thing over. But look at that. That's like perfect for me, especially for driving around everything, because that's definitely not gonna hit anything. Up front, it's a little concerning how much poke there is, but I really don't care because how beastly it looks. That is insane. Look at that. It just pokes out a little. I definitely could have used like a 1-inch spacer in the front, but the way my rims are designed, I'd have to like cut the bolts, and I didn't want to cut the bolts, that's why I went 1 1/4. But it looks so sick. Oh, I'm shaking the camera, that's how sick it is, but like, oh my god. It looks so good. So good. Now I'm just gonna put you guys on the tripod so you can see me do the last two in like high speed. And now that they're all done, I noticed that there is the same amount of poke in the front here. Back here, these originally actually looked like they were further out than the other side, and I think they still are slightly. But that is actually not the fault of the spacers or the wheels. That is actually the fault of the fender. It looks like this fender was bent out more at some point, so it's not perfectly aligned, because the measurement of the spacers, I measured them and I measured the wheels themselves. All of them were the same. This one just seems to be tucked a little more than that one, which is weird, but they're the same space from the hubs. So obviously this was pulled out more at some point, or it's just not perfect. This side's exactly the same on the front as the other side, so that's at least good. We got a real meaty poke, and the car looks badass. And honestly, I like the poke of this side better. This at the back has a little poke, but that's literally because you can actually look at this fender. This fender's actually a little sharper here on this edge, which I noticed, than the other side. So I think someone actually rolled this fender or something, because it's not as sharp. It's got a bit more of a roundness to it, which you guys may not see on camera. That's why it looks a little different. Overall, that is insane. Now imagine if those were 12-inch instead of 8-inch tires. Boy, that would be insane. So now that I have everything installed, it's time to go over the safety aspects of spacers. So what you're gonna wanna make sure of while installing spacers is afterwards. So you're gonna wanna take your car on a drive. You wanna make sure there's no shaking, no rattling noises, no odd noises at all. Make sure they're tight. And if you're very unsure about your spacers, I would put thread locker, at least thread locker blue, so they're removable, or thread locker red if needed, if you feel like you want to. I did not put any thread locker on here because I currently don't know where my dad keeps it, and I didn't buy any before installing these spacers, and I didn't think of that until during, so I figured I'd tell you guys, because I'm going to do it at a later point, not on camera, so it's definitely recommended that you use thread locker to make sure those spacers do not fall off. You also want to make sure you don't over tighten the spacers. Although you want them to be very tight, you don't want them to be over tight to the point where they crack. Otherwise, your wheel will literally fall off and roll away while you're driving, and that wouldn't be good. Or your hub itself will crack. So you don't want either of those to happen. And you're going to want to take your car on a drive, and then I'm going to go on a drive right now. I'm not going to record it. And I'm going to come back, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to check after your drive. So now that you have your superior fitment installed, and you want to test your ability to actually shake the wheel, this is my way of testing it. See if the spacers are good. This is my first time installing spacers, so I looked up a lot of information before this from other people who know more what they're doing. Now, what I found out is something very important for you to learn when installing spacers, and that is that I have rubbing. But I'm not rubbing on the front, I'm rubbing on the back of the fender liner, which is plastic. So essentially how you deal with that is you cut it, because there's nothing behind there in that spot where it's rubbing, and it only rubs for a small amount of turning radius. If I turn more, it doesn't rub anymore. Now I'm looking at the edge of the tire, looking for any rubbing marks from this coming down. I don't see anything, which is very good. So this fitment should work. in its current state. Now, if I were to get everything wider, like say if I wide bodied the car, I definitely have to start cutting into here to get some turning radius somewhere around here. And that's where the wide body would come in place. Because essentially I'd get the wheel distance I need, then cut what I need to, and then cover up with the wide body as much as I can. So everything seems to be good. I'm just gonna go around, shake these wheels, see if there's any play from the spacers or in the bearings, because I may have killed my bearings in like one drive, possibly. So I checked all four wheels. They're all good. This fitment looks insane. It's actually amazing. Oh, that's hot. Those are hot brakes. But it looks insane. It's all ready, and it's not rubbing the fender here because it can't actually compress that low in the front. In the rear, it can compress that low, but the fitment is so good that it literally just comes over and doesn't touch the tire itself. If I changed my tires anything thicker, they probably would hit, but since they're not thicker, they're perfect and everything's good. And the fitment is amazing. Like I can't get over this fitment. It looks so good. That insanely aggressive fitment. Look at that meat. That looks so good. That wasn't that difficult to install, and I spent about $60 on these spacers, so they're not necessarily the most expensive. I'm personally testing them since I know what my car feels like, and everything feels weird. I'd definitely stop, because that would mean there's obviously something really wrong with the spacers. So I'm gonna be very careful of that with these cheap ones until I get either better wheels or I use them, because most spacers are usually good. It's very rare you get a bad spacer, even with the cheap ones, but you just want to keep on that and make sure it's a good one. So that's it for today's video, and seeing the meat poke, this definitely looks aggressive and show car-y. I'm actually really loving this look on the car. I'm just happy to get rid of that really bad fitment it used to have. But I'll link down below those spacers, the listing on eBay where I got them. It's just insane how they look. I love them. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Yelling over my car actually is making me lose my voice a little bit, so keep that in mind. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I love making videos for you guys every day. And I'm going to be back next week. I think this is Friday's video. Yeah, this is Friday's video, so this is the end of the week. I'll see you guys on Monday. I just want to say, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm so happy to finally fix that horrible fitment. It looks insane, and I can't get over it. I'm probably going to wake up tomorrow morning, come downstairs, and just look out the window at the fitment. But please like the video if you liked the video, and peace out, and be legendary.
So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover.